see. Good morning. Hey everyone, it is me, Tiff. Today we are going to celebrate. Yes, celebrate together. There's that song. Forgive me for not remembering who sings it, but he sings like me saying since we've been together. Oh, loving you forever, right? Let's celebrate together. So, good morning. Happy Friday to you. And sorry I don't have any music or anything else playing in the background, but today we are going to celebrate our wins. We are going to focus on the good, and I am going to share some things with you that I am celebrating about myself. I'm going to give myself a high five, and I know, why do we do that? Well, I was inspired to actually talk about this probably about a week or so ago, and it was about celebrating ourselves. And I've heard that recently with several people that have been talking about celebrating our wins, high-fiving ourselves, celebrating us, because when no one else is, hey Farah, when no one else is celebrating you for whatever it is in your life, then you just have to do it yourself, because not everybody is going to celebrate you. There's also a quote that I have written down, and I have been told, don't go where you're tolerated, go where you're celebrated. Don't just go where people tolerate you, but instead go where people celebrate you. There are those who just tolerate you, and you can kind of tell the way they act, the way they talk, the way towards you, and everyone else, they seem like they're like, oh, bestie buds and all that stuff. It's like rude, right? But then those are the ones that celebrate you. Those are the ones that when you enter a room, their faces light up because they know that you're not about the drama. They know who and what you're about. You don't have to be anything different. So you want to find those people. I'm going to invite some people because... Okay, are you okay? Get a cough drop. All right, so I'm just going to invite some folks before I get started in the party of celebrations. And I was going to try to come on later this afternoon, but I think the time that I normally would have done that is not feasible today. Hello. Okay. Okay, let me do my video.
Are you inviting?
I don't know, to be honest. I'm just going to. I am. Okay, go sit down. Actually, please don't be loud with the TV. Thank you. Okay, give me just a moment here. I'm almost done.
I need to school today?
No, I called in for you today because you don't need to go to school when you're not well.
Oh, I'm not well again.
Okay, let me do my video, please.
Oh, this is a new one. Look.
Thank you. Okay. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I've invited some people. I am actually going to go in the other room. Okay, keep that turned down, please. Thank you. All right. So, let's see. Okay. So, I just wanted to come on real quick and just remind everyone that we need to start celebrating and stop hating ourselves, right? We need to start celebrating our wins. We need to start celebrating our sprouts. We need to celebrate the great things that have been happening. We need to, as my coach and mentor says, celebrate our sprouts. Celebrate the things that are going right. Celebrate the things that have let's just say maybe you are doing a great job at something and you don't realize the good in it because it's just something that you do. Something that my friend talked about and brought to my attention, the same one that I shared at the beginning of the video, is that she said that she was reminded that, when she does things, that she doesn't celebrate what she does because it's just what she does, and Yes, other people do give compliments and sort of celebrate. Like, it's easier to celebrate other people, right? It's easier to maybe compliment other people and let them know, hey man, you're doing an amazing job, right? It's easier to validate others, and it's just sometimes a lot easier than it is to compliment ourselves, to validate ourselves, to let us know, hey man, good job on so good job on whatever it is you've been doing a great job on, right? So maybe you are getting in better health. Maybe you have been putting resumes out there. Maybe you have recently gotten a job. Maybe you are in school. Maybe you've graduated school. Maybe you have kids. Maybe you are having a kid or a grandkid, whatever the case is. What do we need to celebrate today? What wins do we need to give ourselves a pat on the back and say, you know what, good job? This goes for moms, this goes for dads, this goes for any type of a parent as well. Let's say, I don't care if all it was for you that you got out of bed and were able to be peace-filled all day long. If that is a win for you, you need to pat yourself on the back, because if that hasn't been easy for you, now it is, that's a win, right? Let's say maybe you've recently had 4 job interviews, and regardless if you've heard back or not, that's a win, right? Because you've put yourself out there and you've stepped out in faith and you are going out there and applying for work, right? So that's a win. Maybe you've overcome the odds and some obstacles. Hey, Richard, and that's a win. Maybe you are, I don't know, maybe you wrote a book or are in the process of writing a book. That's a win. Maybe you are completing school. That's a win. So whatever it is, we need to start reprogramming our minds to start focusing on all the wins that we are getting in our life, either or. We also need to celebrate when something small that happens to us that we accomplish, that's a win, right? So you got up this morning, maybe your thing has been pressing snooze every day, and today, let's just say you didn't press snooze once. That's a win. Celebrate. Now, there are going to be times, sounds good, Richard, there are going to be times in your life where it seems like nobody's celebrating you, like you are doing win after win after win, right? All the small things and then the bigger things, right? And there's going to be times you are going to have to celebrate yourself. There's going to be times you're going to have to high five yourself. There's going to have to be times that you give yourself a pat on the back. And there's going to be times where you are going to have to look in the mirror and tell yourself, good job. Is it easy to be done? No. Why is that? It's because a lot of times people will see the bad. It's like the first thing we see about ourselves is the bad things. It's one of the first things, our flaws, what's not going right, why we look the way we do. This is what goes through our head, why we are the way we are. You know what I'm saying? So when we start training our minds to do something different, like celebrate and just go for it and have a little party. You know what? I haven't had a party for myself at all. I agree with my friend. She had mentioned the same thing, and I was like, me too. I haven't had a birthday party. I think the last birthday party for myself that I had was when my twin sister decided to take us to Chuck E. Cheese when we were like in our late 20s, because I now have 4 kids, and I had, whatever. So Chuck E. Cheese as adults, I was just like, So whatever your version of a party is, have one. Don't go to Chuck E. Cheese. The service is slow, and I don't know if the food is all that, and it's filthy. It's just disgusting. That, and parents break out in all-out fights. It's just terrible. It's like, really? Fighting over tickets, fighting over cotton candy? Get a grip. Anyway, so that's just really all I wanted to get on here for, and just encourage people to to celebrate the wins, focus on the good. That way, your mindset starts changing. And when you start focusing on the positive, guess what happens? You no longer see the negative things that take place. And when they happen, that won't be the number one thing that you focus on. That will actually be the last thing that you focus on, because you'll be focusing on the good things. We're supposed to focus on the good, things that are valuable, things that are worthy to praise, things that are the best, not the worst, things that are great, not great. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to focus on the good. Hey, Rod, how's it going? Because if all we are is focused on all of our faults and what we're doing wrong, we're going to get so good at that. Yes, we are. I know, because I am a reformed. I am under construction. It's said, a quote by my coach and mentor, "What you feed will flourish, what you neglect will die." Truer statement than I've ever heard before. And what you focus on is what you're going to get good at. And that is so true. So if all we are doing is focusing on our faults, what we are doing wrong, things that aren't going right, maybe even the faults of others, it's time we switch our focus. It's time to do that. Reprogram our minds to think differently. And one way to do that is to celebrate your wins, celebrate where you're at instead of where you've been, where you have come to instead of where you were. Does that make sense? And then don't let your last win be your best win. Don't let your win in 1987 keep you from making more wins in 2019, okay? Because that might have been your last best, but it's not your newest best. It's not your best best. Does that make sense? So it's easy to get stuck there. I know, because, man, I've gotten stuck there myself. But I just wanted to encourage you today. Celebrate yourself. Celebrate the wins. Celebrate your kids. Tell them they're doing something amazing. And if for no reason at all, just give them a high five. Say, "Hey, man, you're amazing. You're doing an awesome job." Doesn't matter if their room isn't clean the way that you expect them to clean their room. Doesn't matter if they're getting all A's or B's. Don't put that pressure on your kids. Period. The end. I don't know why that came out. When parents put that pressure on their kids, it's teaching the kids that they are failures, and that it's teaching them that they have to seek approval. And if they can't meet your expectations, it causes them to sink and feel like they're not worthy and not good enough. I know. I just encourage my kids to do their best, to try, give it their all. And if the best is a C+ and they've given it their all, you know what? Good for them. That is good. Who cares if your kid's getting all A's? That's great if they do. Don't get me wrong, but that shouldn't be the only reason that you're celebrating. If they didn't pass the test, but you know they studied hard and gave it their best, you say, "Good job, man. Proud of you. You still did amazing." We just have to learn. I personally have to get better at celebrating wins, not just about myself, but about other people closest to me, my family, being my husband, myself. So that's it. That's all I got for you. Happy Friday. Go celebrate yourself. Give yourself some high fives, pat on the back, say, "Whoa, I got this. I did it. I'm doing it. I'm amazing." It doesn't mean you're egotistical. It doesn't mean you're stuck on yourself. It doesn't mean that you are better than anyone. And as people have told me, I need to get off my high horse. It doesn't mean you're on a high horse either. I actually am not on a high horse. I just don't act a lot like the way the people that have told me act. And so, yeah, anyway. But anyway. And it doesn't mean that you have a big ego when you celebrate yourself. It's just something we got to do. Amen. Let's get out there, celebrate some wins today. Okay? All right. Bye.